Let's talk about collection interfaces. We're talking about a group of elements or a group of objects. This is a collection ADT, just like the ADTs that we went through in the last couple of lectures, stacks and queues. This is a computer science collection ADT, not the implementation of collection that you see in Java, not necessarily. So Java library has many abstract data types, such as list, queue, stack, set, map, and things like that. These are inbuilt interfaces or which are implemented using various different underlying implementation methods. This is a collection ADT. And each ADT, as you know, in Java starts with the interface. Let's take a look at stacks and queues. If you recall from previous lecture, stacks and queues are ADTs. They have specific properties. ADT stacks has what's called LIFO, last in, first out. Queue, on the other hand, has what we call FIFO. These are the specific properties associated with these ADTs. Collection doesn't really have this concept of order in it. So this order thing applies to stack and queues, whereas the order concept does not apply to collection. Let's just say we have a whole bunch of students. These students are stored in a database based on their ID numbers. There is no concept of who's first, who's last. Whoever gets in there gets out first. There's none of that, right, in these databases. So this is simply a collection. What we would like to do is to talk about various different implementation methods to build this collection ADT. Let's take a look at this Java collection interfaces. I do not want you to get confused between this collection interface that we're building versus the Java collection. So this is another slide that I put together from logicbig.com. If you've taken advanced Java or intermediate Java, you probably have seen this diagram or similar to it. In Java, there is what's called Java collection framework. And this Java collection framework is actually interfaces that inherits from iterable. You have list, queue, sets all inherited from the collection interfaces. And these collection interfaces have their own set of operations or methods. These methods are, for example, the collection interface having add all, clear, contains all, is empty, so on and so forth. And also there's specific implementations details in this URML diagram. I have this as a reference for you, but this is more of a Java architecting their own collection that is different than the collection we're talking about. This collection is a generic concept in computer science that does not base on the order, meaning the elements stored inside of this collection does not have this concept of orderness. Let's just go through the collection ADT, and again, do not confuse with the Java collection API in your JDK. There's a reason why it says our collection. This is the author's implementation or interpretations of generic collections ADT. There will be 4 major transformers. These are the support for addition, removal, and retrieval elements. So this retrieval element is typically a get. Content-based access is based on the equality object. When you access information or retrieving elements, how do you know which one to get? Lots of times you can specify key that you want and you get the value out. Sometimes it's based on the equality of objects. So this is very important. This allows us to order these elements inside. So one example of that ordering is sorting the elements. In collections, we can have duplicate elements. So this is very different from set. Set is a collection with no duplicate elements. We do not allow null elements, meaning every element has to have some value. Both add and remove operation return a Boolean indicating success. This is very important because if you don't have that, then there is no indications on whether your operation succeeds or not. Let's move forward on this part. This is a generic interface collection of elements of type T. You also have get, gets you the targets of interest and return set. Both add and remove returns a Boolean, whether you're successfully adding it or you'd be getting false. This is the transformer methods. So this is transformer, get and remove, as well as the contain. And the remaining part of your method is full, empty, and size.